What's up guys, Star Wars Only here, and today we're going to talk about why it actually is good that Disney bought the Star Wars franchise. Now before you dislike this video, hear me out, because I will be making a counter video called Why Star Wars being bought by Disney is bad, or Why Disney buying Star Wars is bad, or Why Disney is bad for Star Wars. I don't know, I don't care. Anyways, so Disney bought Star Wars, and we got to talk about the good about it. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people are going to call me a Disney fanboy like they have. A lot of my personal critics do not like my channel, do not like my content, specifically because they think I'm a Disney fanboy. And they probably don't really watch a lot of what I make then, because if that's the case, you'll understand that I don't like a lot of what Disney's been doing lately, but there is some things that I do like on what they've done that aren't just for the movies. The movies part I kind of disagree with on some of the things that I wish they would change, but that's just me. So, let's get into why it is good that Disney bought the franchise. First things first, they're bringing Star Wars back into the light. Prior to Disney buying this franchise, Star Wars was in a weird position. It wasn't popular anymore because the movies were done. I mean, that was just it. The movies were basically done. There wasn't really much talk of new movies. You had the Clone Wars cartoon in 2003. You had the, what was it, the Clone Wars come back, I think in 2008. Can't remember exactly. But you had that come back. You had the movie for the Clone Wars, which was god-awful. I hated that thing. I haven't even watched it in many, many years. But whatever. So Star Wars was in a weird position. We didn't have many games coming out at the time. We had, you know, The Force Unleashed 2 was the last one I remember before Disney being picking up the franchise, and that game wasn't too great. You had comic books, of course. You had the books, the EU and all that stuff, and you had the Clone Wars series, and that was doing really well. And that was honestly the main thing for Star Wars, in my opinion. The main, like, the meat of the Star Wars franchise at the time prior to Disney buying it. And once Disney bought it, everything changed, of course. But what's good about it is that you did get more Star Wars now. You're getting a Star Wars movie every year at the moment, up until 2020, and after that, things might be changing. You're going to get another TV show. We had Rebels, which I personally am not overly fond of, and many people aren't, but you have that. You have more content coming out from Star Wars now. Like, the books and the comics are coming out at a slower, if not the same pace as they used to prior to Disney buying it, but it's still there, so that's nice. And you're getting more games. I mean, you can't deny that. We're getting more games for Star Wars at the moment because they're, you know, they got deals with EA, Respawn, and Visceral Games and all that stuff. I think it's Visceral. I can't remember. But so you have games coming out now that are confirmed to be coming out, and that's nice. So we're getting more Star Wars. I honestly think right now, at this very moment, is the golden era for Star Wars fans and the golden era for Star Wars in general, unless it goes down a path we don't like, as in content of the movies and whatnot, in the way Disney's pushing it or guiding it. Because there's one thing you got to understand. You know, the way I look at it is Disney doesn't really write the stories. Lucasfilm still writes the stories and does everything. Disney just funds it and everything. It's kind of like football if you watch it, or like a manager, or not a manager, the owner of a team. You know, Disney's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys or whatever the hell. Disney's Jerry Jones, and then Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy is the coach of the team for the Dallas Cowboys, so on and so forth. And you hire J.J. Abrams as your quarterback. He makes a movie. He sucks. So you get him out there and you hire whatever, the director, Edward, whatever the hell his name is. So it's stuff like that. So that's kind of how I look at it. I know it's not entirely true. I know they still make major decisions, but still, Disney has brought Star Wars back into the light. It has shown people, hey, Star Wars is back, better than ever, and you're going to get it every year. You're going to get it for a very long time now. We're going to milk this cow until it's dry, and that is a fear of mine that they will ruin it, but that's for the bad video. So we have Star Wars back into the mainstream media. You have Star Wars 24/7, basically. You got shows, comics, books, and now movies. That's a lot of things people wanted in movies, and I think that's very good. I think Disney bringing the movies back into the light and making them, again, is good for Star Wars fans. You have something to look forward to in December every year, other than Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever voodoo shit you do. So that's interesting for me, and I like that. And another thing Disney has done is it's listened to the fans. Not entirely, but it has listened to the fans. One thing they've done is they've realized, you know, people don't really like the prequels on how they did nothing but CGI. So what are we going to do? We're going to make The Force Awakens with a lot of non-CGI stuff, a lot of practical effects and everything, and we're going to bring back the nostalgia that you had from the originals and some stuff from the prequels itself. And that's very great. A lot of people liked The Force Awakens, a lot of people didn't. You know, a lot of people liked Rogue One. I think it was a solid movie. I don't think it's the best, but it's a solid movie. So you have stuff like that where Disney's like, let's give the fans what they want. Well, they want a new movie, they want an episode 7, we're going to give it to them, and we're going to bring back Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Princess Leia, Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D, everybody. We're bringing back everybody. And some people will complain about that. It's too much nostalgia, but it was just right. It was the right amount to be like, wow, this is pretty great. This is really cool. And it's nice to have that. It's nice having, you know, seeing old stuff like that where it comes back into the light and you're like, wow, this is great. And, you know, some people are saying they're handing off the torch to the new generation. And that's nice, you know, they're bringing it back, and it's opportunity for people to show their kids Star Wars, and and new kids can grow up with Star Wars and enjoy it for what it is, and that's very nice. It's, like I've said, it's the golden era of Star Wars. You're gonna have nothing but Star Wars for a very long time, and that's a nice thought process. The toys are back, they're brand new, better, all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that Disney bringing into Star Wars that really helps. They're making Star Wars more interactive for people, and this is another thing I think that's really good about Disney buying it, is you're getting things like Star Wars hotels. That's another video I made and talked about. They're making Star Wars hotels. They're making a Star Wars land in Disney World and Disneyland. This stuff wasn't really thought of much prior to them buying it. I can't really think of other companies or other people that wanted to do this. I don't even think George ever thought about doing something like this and was going to actually really go through with it. So that's really nice, having new stuff like that for vacations, and you know, you actually go visit Star Wars and see it more and have it actually pop out in real life. That's very nice to have, and it's very interesting. And there's a clear direction that they're going with. The problem with George Lucas was he's always changes his mind, going, oh, I don't know if we're going to do episode 7. No, I was writing episode 7 for a while, and it's going to be about new kids and younger kids. You know, they're going to be 5 years old. That's the story right there. It's stuff like that where he's constantly changing his mind that people didn't like. Where at Disney, it's like, you know what, we have a goal here, and we're gonna meet it. Like, this is exactly what we're gonna do, and this is how we're gonna do it. And when they get a new director for a new movie, they're like, hey, this is kind of the plot line we want to follow. You can fill in the gaps, you can kind of change it up if you want, but just kind of follow this generic thing that we want. And just follow follow the outline that we gave you basically, and run with it. And that's very nice. It allows a little bit of free reign, and it allows fans to, you know, make the movies. You have fans as J.J. Abrams and Garrett Edwards coming in and making these movies, and they're doing a solid job at it. And I really think that's good. I think Disney actually is listening to the fans. You know, they're having polls for new toys that they want to release and stuff like that. And it's nice. It's nice to hear the fans that are appreciated, because they're going, all right, well, what do the fans want? Okay, well, you want a Han Solo movie? Yeah, all right, we'll give you one. A lot of people didn't want a Han Solo movie, but some people did, and I don't know why they're making it, but fuck it. You know, want a Boba Fett movie? We'll consider it. We're definitely thinking about making that in the future. You want an Obi-Wan movie? All right, fuck it, we'll do it. It's stuff like that where I really think that Disney's sticking out on, and I really think they're doing well on. But that's just me. So if you don't like Disney, I understand. Disney's a big corporation buying everything. Marvel, Star Wars, what's next, DC. Never know. I don't really care in the end. I'm going to be dead by the time any of this affects me. So what are your thoughts, guys? Do you think Disney buying Star Wars is good? Do you think it's bad? I mean, this was literally just me ranting about it because I really thought this needed to be addressed, and people need to see the good that Disney has done for the Star Wars franchise. So comment your thoughts below. God damn it. Comment your thoughts below. Tell me if you like Disney buying the franchise or not. I'm Star Wars Only. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. May the Force be with you, always.